give me your view on what you've seen today. Where do you think it leaves Rangers, Clement, the whole shooting match?
I think Clement will be gone if he doesn't win on Thursday, Keith. And to be honest, I think after today, the people upstairs at Ibrox, Patrick Stewart, obviously coming in as new chief exec, I think it'll probably have even crossed their minds tonight whether to relieve Clement of his duties even before the Old Firm game. I know that sounds pretty dramatic, but they've obviously
hold on, Scott. You think there'll be conversations going on tonight about whether or not you leave that man in position ahead of Thursday? You genuinely think it's reached that point tonight?
Yeah, I think so, because at the moment, you touched on it earlier, there's nothing at all to suggest that Rangers will get into that game at Ibrox and go and win it. You say Clement's 7th attempt at an Old Firm derby. He's not won any of them yet. I think Andy touched on it, with the home crowd on Thursday, no away fans. But the Rangers crowd are going to turn up there, obviously expecting a big performance, but at the same time, almost knowing that as soon as Celtic go ahead, or as soon as Celtic get a foothold in the game, it could turn toxic at any moment, and that would be a real bad moment for Clement. As I say, if he loses the game, I just don't see any way. I don't see any way back for him. But today was a shambles. I mean, on and off the pitch, to be honest. You mentioned it earlier. The team selection, absolutely staggering. I thought he made a staggering call against St Mirren the other day, leaving Nico Raskin on the bench, who's been his best player for weeks. Has to throw him on at half-time for a...
It's all over. It is genuinely all over the place. And I think, Scott, there's been periods, and I think, as I said, he had that purple patch where he just threw mud at the wall, and some of it stuck. And the stuff that stuck was giving Raskin more game time, bringing Hadji in from nowhere. All that stuff kind of made Rangers better. I find it astonishing that going into this crunch period in the season, he then rips it all up, starts throwing jerseys around again.
Well, you mentioned it earlier. The reason he did almost stumble upon that lineup with the likes of Hadji coming back and Egerman emerging. Mm-hmm. But the reason they had that purple patch was because for the first time this season, there was a bit of continuity and a bit of consistency with team selection. Suddenly fans could relate to a starting 11 that they thought...
There was almost an identity.
Yeah, this might actually be good enough to go on a run and put a run of results together. And as you say, to go into a period like this, you're already trailing Celtic. They've got two relatively comfortable home games, with all due respect to Motherwell and St Johnstone, and knowing that you need to go away from home, where the away form has been abysmal all season, by the way, before that, and to then, as you say, start ripping it up and making changes and resting guys,
putting Dessers back in the starting lineup.
Honestly, the Dessers and Dowell decisions today. I mean,
where does that even come from?
I know. I mean, it has to stop. I mean, this has to be the end for Dessers being regarded as a starting number 9 for Rangers. The Kieran Dowell debate, if there ever has been one, has to be ended now. Listen, it's a bad look for any manager, I think, when he picks a team.
100%.
The man in the street can tell this is going to go pear-shaped. I mean, you'd have probably been... As soon as that team sheet dropped today, I got a couple of texts and phone calls for pals and that saying this is going to go pear-shaped for Rangers here. This team is wild, that team selection for a tough away game that they need to win. And as I say, it's a bad look for a manager when the guy in the street can see what's going to happen, but the manager does.